Alright, hello everyone and welcome to yet another Dragon Warrior Randomizer tournament match. We are in the quarterfinals and this is between Lorgon and Highspirits. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. I'm NESCardinality.
I'm Sparkover. Hi! How you doing today, NESCard?
Fantastic. It's great to wake up for a race.
It really is. I'm just letting the runners know that I am exiting their race room. How do you do that? That's how we go. And we will be going shortly. And the racers are off very soon. They will be off on the screen here. Let's have some fun.
Looks like a very strong start for both, starting with 10 strength and sleep, and 19 agility, 22 HP, a lot of versatility. Should be a relatively easy start.
So let's see what we start out with. We get Erdrick's token, the death necklace, that's fun, and then of course we will receive a key in the final chest.
I feel like the death necklace is unlikely to be sold, but it'll be interesting if there's a town nearby with like a copper sword even.
Yeah, though starting with 10 strength is always kind of promising. You might not want to do that right away. Look at that cute map. There are hills or rather mountains all around.
Wow. So three caves on the screen. Lorgon finding a slime, he can one-shot it, of course. Lorgon entering the Stones of Sunlight cave. Highspirits, I didn't see which one he went through. Looking like the Tablet Cave. And it looks like Lorgon is actually going to pick up a couple torches from the Stones Cave. Highspirits from the Tablet Cave receives the Stones of Sunlight.
So we've already got 2 of the 3 items we need in order to make the rainbow drop.
Lorgon close by behind will also receive the stones, and then we'll find out what the third cave is pretty soon.
What are we hoping for?
I would say the mountain cave with Erdrick's sword or a magic key would be top on my list now that these 2 one-chest caves are gone.
Let's go all out. Let's say mountain cave with a key and like all the things you need to really get going.
Yeah, I'm for that. A total jet seed. But you have to work for it.
I suppose going through the mountain cave at level 1 might not be the most possible thing to do, but let's see what happens.
A magician is certainly beatable here. Even with hurt, you could use sleep. I don't know if you'd be the favorite to win with only 10 strength, though.
So our last cave over here, we've got the jerk cave. But why are we so mean to him anyway?
Because he's mean to us.
Ah, true.
Whenever we don't show up with a token anyway. But both players have a token, so he's not the jerk in this seed. He's the nice, grumpy old man, I don't know.
The nice plot advancer. Alright, so hey, we're actually getting some experience. We've got a tie here, but we're going to see some divergence. Level 2 for Lorgon.
6 power, 7 agility, 6 HP, 6 MP, a huge level, and also learning heal more.
So it is a nice spell to have right away, but at the same time, it's also kind of not very efficient in the way that it takes 8 MP, and you're not gonna have that much to heal until later on.
Lorgon with enough strength to do more than 1 damage to a magician now.
Highspirits not too far behind, also getting level 2. It looks like our 2 runners are settling into just committing to getting some experience.
I'm surprised they both found the caves and aren't willing to explore in any other direction when they don't have, like, desert or hill tiles, but this is clearly working strong. Both players are going to beat magicians to get level 3 here.
Oh, we're gonna have a dual level 3 right at the same time? Oh, not quite, but just about. So for level 3, let's see what we get. 0 attack power, 16 speed, 16 hit points, and 6 magic points. Those are some fun numbers.
Another huge level to get us going. Both players can already take swings at anything in this first zone. They might even be able to beat a couple things. I don't think it'd be efficient to go to the next zone, but this zone is fantastic. They can comfortably build to level 4 with all that agility, and of course the sleep spell and heal more.
Yeah, and they actually do have 44 HP, so at this point heal more is starting to become a little bit more useful.
And there it is, Lorgon uses the heal more immediately and refills his magic so that he can continue the grind.
I see a bridge on the side. It looks like Lorgon is choosing to go on an adventure, but we do have a few more difficult enemies at this point, and trying them out with sleep might be okay until the part where you only have 16 strength is a thing.
He doesn't know yet, but he's not going to be able to do more than 1 to this guy.
Looks like a safety save, though. Not quite a save, but safety strats.
That was smart.
Yeah.
Looking for other locations nearby. Highspirits still sticking to those forest tiles, trying to finish off level 4. And this makes a lot of sense. With so little strength, you're not going to be able to fight much more, but this region is really convenient and efficient for getting the next level. It looks like Lorgon will try it on a Druin. This is going to be a long battle if it works, but Lorgon can do 3 damage, meanwhile Highspirits gets the next level.
So with the next level we get 9 power, 6 speed, 3 hit points, and 3 magic points. So a nice, decent boost to their strength there, considering they had gotten 0 the level before.
The gains are just pouring in, and Highspirits has got to be thinking about moving to the next zone for sure.
Lorgon not too far behind, also getting level 4. Doing a little more exploration and finding some more mountains and a metal slime. Though now with 25 strength, the metal slime does have a chance to run away, however, still going to try for that. It's always the dream.
This is a key moment. This is really close to home. Will Lorgon consider resetting if this guy runs away? Of course he's not going to reset if he doesn't run away. But that's something to consider.
And I believe that is the 3rd hit connecting? No, I have lied. I apologize. I actually did that in one of my tournament matches, though. I reset probably about 20 minutes into a race, maybe a little less, because I found a nearby metal slime, and that actually has to be the 3rd hit. We are getting up to what, level 7 is that?
6.
Oh, we're just below that. So we're going to see a couple levels here. So we get 31 power, 6 speed, 13 hit points, 7 MP, new spell, which is hurt. I think the hurt spell's not going to matter so much with that 31 power.
So just 2 levels and no hurt more. Highspirits is not necessarily in trouble here if he doesn't get a metal slime. But things are going to be easy for Lorgon for the next few minutes, that's for sure.
So meanwhile on Highspirits' side, as we were watching that metal slime, he managed to find the town of Breckenry and has purchased a club. Trying to figure out where that is on the map roughly. Club's gonna help whack the enemies a little bit harder. Meanwhile, Lorgon, well, has just got some more power to his fists.
Highspirit's gonna try his hand at this Warlock here, and I definitely like the try. You can see he's doing significant damage, and with Sleep and Heal more in his back pocket, this is a great fight for value. This is gonna put him 1 Warlock away from level 5.
Meanwhile, Lorgon hit level 7. I believe I saw 6 hit points, or rather 6 strength points. I think it was 10 HP, a few more MP in there as well.
And the Radiant spell.
Yes, and as well on Lorgon's side, we see the Big C. Gosh, what's that giant moat around it?
I think it's made of mortar of some sort. I mean, that's really all they could do back then.
But how are you going to get across it?
Well, it's complicated.
Yes?
You need to gather some special items and form a rainbow drop that can create a bridge made of the power of colors. I don't know exactly how it works, but apparently that'll grant you access to this formidable castle.
Magical. So we're still just picking away at the enemies here, trying to get a little bit of exploration out. It's always sort of hard to tell exactly where you want to start exploring versus keep grinding, but looks like Highspirits is aiming to fight a few of the, slightly stronger enemies at this point.
Finding great variety in the second zone, but not quite finding that metal slime up there. He's only about 8 steps or so away from where Lorgon encountered it. Lorgon, meanwhile, fighting a Wolf Lord for tremendous value. It's going to be really easy to progress from this point.
Though it looks like, unfortunately, skeletons also have the sleep spell, and Highspirits was sent back home from that. Just 11 experience till the next level, and unless Highspirits gets Metal Slime, I am kind of curious to see the split between the level 5 and 6, because we did see it was 31 power from 2 levels. What is each individual level?
For the race's sake, I hope level 5 gives a very large amount of experience.
Yeah, for Highspirits, definitely hoping. He is, almost going up into that Metal Slime area. It sort of depends how the zones fall.
And I think this is there's a Metal Slime. So Highspirits also with the option to reset if this guy runs away, and I just wouldn't be surprised at all, but there's 1 damage.
Yeah, we have the chance at the equalizer here, but this one does run, unfortunately. That might be in his mind, though, even if he chooses not to reset right away. But unfortunately, it looks like there are werewolves in the area as well.
I'm really curious about this.
I'd missed it on the other side, but there's some talk in chat about how Axe Knights have the Dragon Lord breath. That can come into play a lot later on when you actually are diving the Castle of Charlock.
Highspirits not moving back into the Metal Slime zone. Looks like he wants to finish level 5 first and then reassess. This Drakey will do it for him.
Metal Slimes are always a bit of a pipe dream as well, since they will stick with you at 20 strength and below. But Highspirits gets to level 5 and we see 21 power. Very nice. 3 speed, 2 hit points, 2 magic.
So the Metal Slime doesn't matter too much, and Highspirits, I like this play. It was the smart thing to do. He got the vast majority of that strength out of the way. The Metal Slime would only give him 1 more level, whereas this strength gives him the means to get to that level without any uncertainty.
Yeah, of course, having no idea what the levels bring on his side, you sort of have to make that own guess yourself, but I like that on his part. And looks like down on Lorgon's side, we do find the town of Breckenry. He's got a little bit of money. We'll see what he decides to purchase. Nice little assortment here. Almost looks like vanilla until you realize you've got a broadsword and a full plate sitting there. But Lorgon chooses to buy the club. And that is it.
He could have afforded the copper sword. He's making it pretty clear that he wants to buy some herbs and a dragon scale.
Yeah, also a very respectable choice.
Personally, I don't think I could have resisted buying the copper sword, even with all the strength we have here. But it's a very good choice on Lorgon's part. He doesn't have a heal spell. These herbs are going to give him a lot of exploration versatility.
Yeah, even having heal more, it is nice to have early, but it's so expensive that getting herbs might be a little more of a preferable choice for people. Ooh, and is he making a play we don't see very often as he dons the scale of the dragon? I think... Oh, okay, I was wondering if he was going to go get some fairy water. It wouldn't have made a lot of sense early on with when you don't have hurt more, but I was curious. That was the direction he was walking in.
Yeah, my bad. They do have heal more, but only 4 casts, and of course he wants to be able to use the sleep spell. The herbs are going to give him versatility in that area. Highspirits just checking the south, and it is a dead end, so he's done with that region until he needs the rainbow drop.
Lorgon making a fair amount of doing on the plains tiles. The plains tiles give you the smallest amount of chance of enemy encounters, so it makes it for a little bit of a safer travels, of course, in theory. Random numbers don't always tell you that story. So both runners still doing some exploration. Highspirits finds a skeleton and this time casts sleep on him, hopefully able to get some revenge. However, unfortunately the skeleton casts sleep on him as well, and green dragons also have the spell of sleep.
We are in the sleep wars on Highspirits' side. Highspirits prevails. Lorgon gets away from the green dragon.
I think someone needs to get Airdrip's coffee.
I think Highspirits has found a zone that he likes. This skeleton is going to put him 1 enemy away from level 6. And Lorgon being very brave, taking a swing at a knight. With 70 HP, this is possible, but I don't know, it's going to be close. It depends on how effective sleep is, and unfortunately that sleep did not work.
Yeah, knights are very scary to find in the early game, I find. And they often seem to have a very bad, scary thing. But chipping away with hurt and sleep is, it's an attempt, but unfortunately is not able to run away from it. And then Lorgon will be sent back home to the castle.
And Highspirits working on defeating a poltergeist. He will get it for level 6.
So I think we're due for 10 strength here, but I can't remember the other numbers.
I believe 10 strength is correct.
How did we know? So 10 strength, 3 speed, 11 hit points, 5 MP, and the spell, which we already know is Radiant. Or sorry, Hurt. Radiant came at 7.
Lorgon inching towards level 8. Highspirits is going to be really comfortable exploring now and looking for enemies on the way. A Wolf Lord is a perfect candidate. He will try Sleep just in case. He doesn't have any heal mores left. And it looks like he might be able to two-shot this guy. This is nice.
Yeah, the nice new strength has really helped. Doesn't get the two-shot, but the third one will do it, and the sleep spell is a lot to thank for that.
We saw almost his full range of damage there, a 19 and then 2 10s. He could have two-shot, but it would have been on the upper range of his attacks.
So it looks like he was trying to find one more enemy to fight, but the Demon Knight is very frightening, so he chooses to go back into the town of Breckenridge, probably to take a nap in the inn. Possibly to make some purchases. Meanwhile, Lorgon hits level 8. Get 4 power, 3 speed, 4 hit points, and 6 magic points.
With this money, it would certainly be worth considering upgrading to the Copper Sword. It is another 6 power, that's somewhat significant. We'll see if Highspirits thinks of that. He is going to the, this was new tech that literally saved about 3 seconds. Going to this shop in the no manipulation speedrun. Going to this shop before you buy weapons and armor, even though the weapons and armor shop is right at the entrance. So Highspirits might actually, he's speedrun this game before, he might have that on his mind and go back to the shop and inn.
So Highspirits dons the Scale of the Dragon, very important. Unlike the rest of your equipment, it doesn't auto-equip, and you have to put that on yourself. But an interesting function it can get for you is, since it is in your items menu, if you're already wearing it, and you try and use it, it says, "Thou art already wearing the Scale of the Dragon," something to that effect. And you can actually use that in battle for a free turn, which can be useful in situations where you are in a battle where you actually do wish to take a death.
No Copper Sword for Highspirits, certainly doesn't need it. He's got a lot of strength already, and so the ratio between his current strength and what it would be is smaller. So it'd make less of a difference at this point. Putting a Stone Man to sleep to run away. Again, gaining a lot of versatility having that sleep spell. So it's just a really good time to explore. Yet another cave on the map is discovered, and we have the Shrine Cave, so yet another vital location discovered on Highspirits' side.
This is where you exchange the Silver Harp for the Staff of Rain, which is the final item they need to be able to create the Rainbow Drop.
And they haven't found the Mountain Cave, or the Grave, or Grinham yet. They also don't have keys yet. Still a long way to go in terms of exploration.
Yeah, I guess they found all the Bright Caves, but yeah, those two in the swamp are yet to be found. And, hey, look at that, there's a town in the middle of the swamp.
Will it be Ramulder with keys? Will it be Cole with Erdrick's armor?
Will it be Hawksness with jerks?
It's Grinham with locked doors.
Ah, even less useful at this point. So we'll check out the armor shop, and what do we have here? A few small things. Lorgon chooses to buy the small shield. And I assume the leather armor, but looking at that copper... Actually, I think he can afford all 3 of them, so Lorgon chooses to buy the leather armor as well, and leaves.
No Copper Sword yet. In all fairness, when you're strong and you've bought a club, it's not always automatic to think about what the next weapon is that you could buy.
Yeah, it technically might not even be worth the time it takes to buy it, and then someone having to talk you through the whole speech of, "Oh, but we can buy back your club." So meanwhile, on Highspirits' end, he's unfortunately sent home by an Axe Knight with the Dragon Lord Breath, but just before that, he had hit level 7.
In all the excitement, I keep forgetting to mention, that's actually the 3rd Axe Knight that I've seen that's breathed in this seed. And I think this is 3 race seeds in a row where I've seen Axe Knights have Dragon Lord Breath.
They got into the Hot Peppers. So Lorgon finds a dark cave. What's it gonna be? Mountain? Cast the spell of Radiant. And it is Swamp North. I'm right on guesses sometimes. Sometimes I'm really not.
Now, it's absolutely vital to go through at this point, because there could be keys on the other side, and keys are a big opener at this point.
Would you say they're a key point to the game?
I would.
You would. So we're checking out our tile monster here, and it's the blue dragon. Lorgon's able to run away with no problem. That was just a little homework assignment.
If there's one thing I've learned, it's that it's surprisingly strong information to find out what that tile is early. I always worry about doing it in case I can't run away when I'm in the middle of exploring. I'm a little surprised Lorgon isn't going through the cave. Perhaps he wants to check if these down here are dead ends first.
Yeah, exploration can always be a bit of a question mark, especially if you feel like you've already walked far away from home. You might not want to throw yourself onto the next continent if you think maybe you might be close to dead ends where you are over here.
I feel like he wants to come back to the swamp cave soon, just checking out these dead
Nice.
ends. There's a Sparkover
Beautiful,
tile.
I love it.
But yeah, using herbs to balance out magic usage, there's a nice, excellent move. Highspirits still finding great enemies and doing great exploration as well. This Wolf Lord will put Lorgon one enemy away from the next level, and Highspirits will be 2 enemies away with this Spectre.
Yeah, this strength amount is giving them some good amount of punching things, even if they haven't gotten the Hurt More spell yet. Another swamp town on Lorgon's side, and we've found coal with one searchable spot, which could have either the Fairy Flute or the Dream, Erdrick's armor.
So not plunging straight into the swamp cave has already paid off for Lorgon, finding this town, and could get a vital item here, and it is Erdrick's armor, absolutely huge in a seed like this.
And hey, now you get to leave town without taking that swamp damage as well. Unfortunately, on Highspirits' side, we are sent back home by a green dragon. So yeah, there was a mention in chat about how Lorgon chooses not to cross the swamp until he's finished with the first continent. That has definitely paid off for him here.
I don't know if I'd agree with finishing the entire continent if there were an opening on the exact opposite side. But I do love that he completed this whole area before he's going through.
So Lorgon gets the next level. We have 3 power, 5 speed, 2 hit points, and 1 MP.
Lorgon temporarily 2 levels ahead, as Highspirits is just a Spectre away, or a Wolf, from getting the next level.
Not the Poltergeist, however, and they're very shy too.
Lorgon continuing to find the Wolf Lords, and he will go through the Swamp Cave. Definitely the correct play now that this whole area has been explored. Again, you've got to check that other side just in case there are keys.
Yeah, he found his dead ends, and now that you happen to be passing by it again, it's not a bad choice to look at it again. So we just learned, I think, that wizards have hurt more. Sounds kind of vanilla. And through the other door we have an open field. And a beautiful bridge. Shoutouts to Sparkover. Wait, am I allowed to do that?
I don't know if that's how it works.
So we'll see what's in the great big outdoors on this other side of the map. So actually, with Garenham and Tantagel's caves yet to be discovered, we are guaranteed that the Grave and the Mountain Cave are in both of those locations.
So that means the hunt for Remolder is most likely on.
Yeah, you need a key to get the keys, so...
And that's the only way left. All the other chests are locked.
Yep.
Remolder, Garenham.
My sentence was a little bit off there, but I more so meant you needed a key to potentially be able to open a chest with a key in it. I missed some words there. So yeah, looking for the town. And look at that,
Townsville.
It's Townsville! So first we have Hawksness, which I'm sure Lorgon will choose to see the enemy there, but first we want to see what the friendly town is. We've got Cantlin, Rimuldar, and... Wait, that's it actually.
That's it.
Yeah.
Level 8 for Highspirits, and again, just not far behind at all. Cantlin on Lorgon's side. Definitely not the preferable find at this point. Remolder is the vital building block for the rest of this entire seed.
Yeah, aside from possibly picking up some new armor, Cantlin is pretty useless unless you really want to see if the Fairy Flute exists, but most people are not going to go out of their way for that, other than some very extenuating circumstances.
Silver Shield exists here. We don't know if there's a gold grind yet, of course.
Here, Lorgon does choose to buy the Copper Sword, upgrading that club.
At last, another level up. It really is like a level, getting 6 power like that.
And so then just over to the other side to make a few small purchases, and I want to assume we're going to be checking out what the Hawksness enemy is, because it's good to know just for your endgame grind.
He checked the swamp tile, you gotta figure he's gonna check Hawksness as well.
Yeah.
Especially with Cantlin being right across the river here. 62 agility, that's not bad for running away from a lot of those tile enemies.
We're in the orange, that means it's time to go fight the Dragon Lord, right? Maybe not quite yet. So what the colors on these stats means, despite the fact that now we've only got 2 of them to look at, white is pretty much, when you're starting out. Back in the day, in the beginning of the seed, there may have been a red stat, which means it's particularly low. Orange sort of means that you are getting close to, considering what you might want to fight the Dragon Lord. Perhaps even, 1 or 2 orange stats could be acceptable, depending on how they fall. And then green generally means, well, go. That seems to be something that we've been taught since we were children.
Lorgon with a nice, excellent move on a Wolf Lord, and Highspirits with a nice, excellent move on a Spectre. And I believe the Swamp Cave did not take us far across the map. We saw the first Sparkover bridge across the land. Lorgon couldn't get back there, but it was really close by. Highspirits just 1 enemy away now from level 9. Lorgon's still at level 9. You can see a lot of equalization has taken place.
And yes, question in chat, 1500 experience will get us to level 10. Meanwhile, Highspirits finds the town of Garenham. Can't do too very much here, but we will see what's in the area. Perhaps he'll choose to buy a few more items, as I know Lorgon did when he found the place here.
And the eternal question, will Highspirits now get a copper sword?
Or will he wait for Cantlin as well? Maybe Cantlin has nicer copper swords. They have the nice little engraved initials on the bottom.
I forget if there are any shields here.
There's
Both
a large
of them,
shield.
okay.
So Highspirits chooses to purchase the leather armor.
Another
And also
metal
the small
slime.
shield.
Another metal slime on Lorgon's side. And he's already done 2 damage. This is another big shot. And
Oh my gosh.
does. He nails it for level 10 immediately. That's a huge bonus.
So at level 10 we get 1 power, 13 speed, 5 hit points, and 2 magic points. Amazing luck on Lorgon's side.
That agility's huge. I don't think Lorgon actually checked the Hawksness tile. He might not... he might be thinking that he's just not going to come back here ever.
It might also just not be a priority in the way that he probably knows that he needs some keys so he can get the rest of the seed progressing.
I definitely think it's the right thing to do. And we'll see if Remolder is over here or if he has to return back to the main continent.
So we've got Highspirits in a cave now. Looks like it's Swamp South, or rather, sorry, Swamp North. He is headed south with all of his shimmying. And another metal slime on Lorgon's side.
They just don't seem to want to run away. Lorgon already hitting him once, and he's got a shot at a 3rd one here. That's the 2nd hit. He's still here. Highspirits, meanwhile, going through the swamp cave. Lovely Sparkover bridge. But oh
So
no,
beautiful.
he's found a red dragon.
And
he
runs
gets
instantly.
away. And he's gonna search that tile.
Nice. Thank you, Highspirits.
Lorgon has killed his 3rd metal slime.
Yeah, that makes quite the difference in experience. They're all based on both luck with the metal slimes actually sticking around and just, luckily finding a few on the overworld.
Highspirits successfully running away from a 2nd red dragon. Lorgon discovering that golems have sleep and do not play nice. He's sent back.
But when do golems ever play nice?
I didn't see if Lorgon completed his exploration of the swamp continent, but I definitely think he saw enough that he's going to get back to the main area, unless he actually completed the main area and there's a little opening on the swamp continent, but I don't think that's the case.
So now Highspirits, also looking around on this 2nd continent, and if he's able to stay alive, he will be finding the same Cantlin and Hawksness that Lorgon did. So the big question now, where's Remolder? Where does it live? So Highspirits has found the twin towns over here.
He's going to be disappointed when he doesn't see Remolder, but this is a great pack of information.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I believe Highspirits has also seen all of, except for the last 2 caves as well, so he should know that keys are very, very important at this point.
I think the only thing he's missed is Cole with the armor.
Yes, that sounds about right, because he chose to go through the swamp cave right away, and we know it's just a little bit further down that swamp cave north path. So Highspirits now going into Cantlin, trying to look at some things, though based on what he bought in the other town, I'm not sure if he'll buy anything other than, oh, I am wrong, he buys the chainmail. He had rejected the first offer, but then he pondered it for a moment and found it was the right time. So Lorgon has put a Stone Man to sleep and is now trying to defeat him. Stone Men are still going to hit it for a fair amount of damage, but with Erdrick's armor that's going to help a lot, and they are very susceptible to sleep. And he does take one down, getting very close to the next level, which I think is 2225?
2175.
Oh, 21, okay.
And unfortunately, that metal slime eluded Highspirits once again. Nice to know that they exist in this zone. There are wolf lords. I could see him sticking here for a bit, but he might just want to explore for keys as well. There's that Sparkover bridge from the other side.
Beautiful. And I apologize, I did just miss Lorgon's level up, but he has hit the next level. Thank you, DePaul Duggan chat, saying 5015 and 1. And we have also learned the spell of Repel.
And heal.
And heal! We can now heal. Though I think for Lorgon with the armor that might not matter as much, but heal still can have utility. Double Magiwyverns on both sides. Highspirits gets an excellent move on one. It's about 200 experience away from the next level. And looks like he's actually just walking a little around, trying to look at maybe grinding in here. If he does remember metals were around here. This looks like a decent zone.
Yeah, it looks like everything is good here. He might not even want metals in favor of the enemies he can just defeat quickly for fast experience.
Assuming this is the same zone as beside Cantlin.
Yeah, it's close. He might be in a different zone at the moment. I'm seeing all Wraith Knights and no Wolf Lords, so I'm not sure yet.
But we will find out. Eventually. Wraith Knights with Herd is actually kind of nice if they use it often.
Yeah, they're actually better now. Not getting those huge swings in, and giving more experience than a Wolf Lord, which are already valuable.
And there's a Wolf Lord, so it very possibly is the same zone. Very possibly.
Yeah, unless it's just the 2 steps separating them.
Yes. But looks like he's choosing to at least get to the next level here. It's 3 experience away, so just about any enemy would do it, including a metal slime. Come on, Highspirits. We believe.
Everyone's rooting for a metal slime victory here. No damage yet.
He gets 1 hit on it, and unfortunately, it runs away. Though this enemy will also give the next level for Highspirits.
Nice, excellent move, and that's level 10.
Lorgon finds another dead end across a few bridges. And Highspirits goes back into Cantlin, probably to take a nice sleep at the inn. So Lorgon has to retrace some of his steps so he can find some new land. Meanwhile, I think Highspirits still has a little more on the east side of this continent to look at before giving up on this area. And now let's see, will he choose to find out what the enemy is in Hawksness? And looks like that is his plan. So let's see, we've already seen a few of the bigger enemies being kind of nasty with the skills that they have.
Knights, of course, much more manageable now. Definitely another valuable addition to the attack arsenal. And I believe 72 experience for a knight, very valuable. 78. 72 is Wraith Knight, that's right.
Alright, inching closer and closer to the spot. Does a little bit of herb healing, and we've got the Golem. So we already know they have sleep. But we also know that the only thing that could potentially be in that spot is the fairy flute. You know what? I bet it is there. Golem loves to be the guardian of the fairy flute.
Mathematically, I think it's the most likely possibility, although it is also possible that the flute is in Garinham, Mountain Cave, Garen's Grave, Remulder, or Charlock.
Or the coordinate spot.
Or the coordinate
If
spot.
there is a coordinate spot.
I forgot about that. It could be either one of those. Mathematically, it's likely that it's in one of those two spots.
But we're still just wondering, where's Remulder? Where will the keys come from? So Highspirits finds yet another metal slime, and it still is sticking around, but I don't believe he's gotten one hit on it yet, and unfortunately it does run again. They seem to be very shy.
And it looks like Highspirits is set on reaching level 11 before moving on. Lorgon, meanwhile, chipping away at a stone man with that copper sword. It's taking a while to chip away at that hard exterior, but it's working.
But he has defeated one, and he can defeat it again. Yeah, what if you broke your sword while trying to fight a stone man?
Well, then you'd have to fight with the little broken part. It'd still be effective.
The nub!
But,
Power
yeah.
of the nub!
But it's like shorter range, so it's risky.
Ooh, yeah, and they can punch you. No wonder we're using the sleep spell.
Lorgon taking a bit of a risk there, not casting heal more, but sleep worked, and he is promoted to level 12.
With level 12, we get 1 power, 8 speed, 8 hit points, and 9 MP.
Another wide difference for safety. Only 1 power, but the rest really helps with mobility. A little bit more magic, more HP, and more dodgeability with that agility.
So Highspirits just picked up the half-plate in Cantlin. He had the money for it, so not a bad choice when you don't have the armor yet. We'll apply some extra defense to him. And I think, no, that's the town of Breckenry there, isn't it? Yes. Not a new town. I was about to get excited, but then I realized the one single sand tile. It was familiar.
3 metal slimes for Lorgon. Definitely making the difference in experience right now, but we have to remember neither player has found Remulder. And that is the key to opening up the rest of the seed. We can imagine if Highspirits were to find it first, it could be an equalizer.
Yeah, it just comes down to exactly where it's going to land. And yes, as noted in chat, Highspirits does also need to find coal, but he still does have a fair amount of exploration to do on the first continent. I think we have seen all of the second one, but it is sometimes a little bit hard to keep track of every single bit of the map when you're trying to pay attention to 2 runners. Highspirits now up on the northwestern side, actually. This doesn't look totally familiar with me, but then again, tracking 2 people with the eyes can be difficult.
This Wolf Lord is going to put Highspirits 1 enemy away from level 11.
And there's another swamp town. I believe this might be the last one.
It looks like it.
And here we have the key town. So with this, Lorgon is going to be able to open up all of the doors, providing that you don't run out of keys, and we're going to find where all of our final items are.
So what's left here? There's the Silver Harp, Erdrick's Sword.
I mean, that's all that's left. It's necessary, really. We could make a gold grind so we could get the Silver Shield, maybe find the Fighter's Ring. So here, Highspirits hits level 11. We haven't seen Mountaineer Grave yet, but we do know that they're both in Garinham and the Tantagel Castle Caves.
Lorgon getting a gold boost from Remulder, not a vital chest there.
Yeah, he might consider checking the item shop for a large shield just because he has the money, but that might also be an afterthought for the chance of a gold grind happening.
17 treasure chests left before Charlock. Where will the Silver Harp be?
Actually, I feel like very good chance of a gold grind happening, just because you definitely know you have a cave inside the 10th Angel Castle as well.
That's a good point. Very likely that a gold grind will be possible there.
Yeah, with like, what,
9 chests.
9 chests yeah, 9 chests to choose from. Very good chance. Unless the Dragon Lord is just getting the rest of the money. Question in chat with an answer right above it. Which one would you choose first, though? And I do agree with checking Garenham first, just because you'll immediately get a gold grind if you can get through whatever the Garenham cave is. And it just makes sense, because then it'll send you back to the next location where you need to be to check the remaining cave. Though on the other hand, Mountain Cave is shorter. What if you want to see that one first? But no, necessarily I would think Garenham first is still the play.
Oh, this is interesting. Highspirits going back to Hawksness. He doesn't have the armor yet, so he's thinking that it could be here. So we'll have to see if the Golem plays nice or not with that sleep spell.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Highspirits knows the Golem has the sleep spell or not. I can't remember who was the one who discovered that. But unfortunately, it is now nap time for Highspirits.
What a difference exploration luck can make. You see, we mentioned, you could tell that this was a seed where Erdrick's armor is really important. And Lorgon just going through to Cole before going through the Swamp Cave just turns into a massive advantage for him. That's just how it worked out, because that's just where Cole happened to be. And that is random exploration luck for you.
And so Lorgon picks up a large shield in the town of Garenham. Definitely nice. Good little experience boost on here.
Now for the treasure chest behind that locked door in Garenham. 3 here and 5 in the basement.
So we find some gold. We find the fighter's ring. Nice little bonus. Lorgon puts on the fighter's ring. And also the torch. And yes, CD Improv, Lorgon did just purchase a large shield. And now we'll see what's in the back. And we've got the mountain cave. Ta-da!
Alright, so 5 quick chests for Lorgon and then a possible gold grind after a death warp, which I do assume he will do.
Yeah, at this point it really just is faster to take a death warp out of here, as long as there's anything, you know, realistic to take the death on.
Betastrap mentioning the defense is so high right now that with a silver shield, we would be defense breaking the Dragon Lord at only level 12. And that really is, it can be significant when attacks in addition to Stop Spell are an option for not needing an herb to deliver that final blow with enough HP.
So in our first chest, it is empty. Probably an herb.
Yeah, that's an herb chest.
Though, I mean, I know it's been a theme going around that agility has no meaning, for this tournament. I really only ever apply that to running. Agility is definitely useful for the defensive power. We can all appreciate that, I'm sure. We found the fairy water, same as the repel spell, but in item form. Chooses to drop the fighter's ring for that, and in the next chest, the silver harp, our last quest item needed.
And without Erdrick's sword, I suspect Lorgon will still check everything in the grave until he finds the sword. 5 chests.
And oh look, a key behind a locked door. How convenient. Wait.
And the final chest is more gold, decreasing the chance that there is a gold grind.
But only slightly.
And what will Lorgon do? Will he take a death warp? It's amazing. Highspirits has been maintaining the experience difference between them and still getting exploration done. If he finds Remolder soon, you never know how close this race could be.
Meanwhile, Lorgon finds a red dragon and is fighting the red dragon. Is worth some very good experience, but looks like he was just doing it for the chance of killing it because he swipes on very low health, and we do have a death warp.
The gold grind is on the table. It's certainly not a necessity with 83 agility and not being strong enough yet to beat the Dragon Lord, but it's going to be a nice bonus, a nice little bit of security. And you gotta figure, Lorgon having beaten 3 metal slimes, he might be figuring that everything is on his way. And look at this, there's an abundance of gold grind chests here. Erdrick's sword coming through, and he just instantly leaves. But it's not Erdrick's sword! It's a fake Erdrick sword! And he double checks to make sure.
Very smart. Very smart on his end.
He's gotta go back.
But now he could do the dream Erdrick sword grind.
Wow.
I have to assume because his inventory is full, that was either a key or an herb. Well, very smart on his end to look that up, because now we're grinding bamboo poles. A little step down from the Erdrick sword, wouldn't you say?
Now, you might think Lorgon has no interest in a gold grind, but we don't know that yet. After you death warp out of the grave, the grind is still going to be an option. And he knows that he would have to sacrifice half his gold to death warp.
Yeah, and without the outside spell, you don't want to go through that and then have to do it again. So what cave do you think this is?
The grave.
Wow, you were right. Alright, so 3 chests up here, and then 2 chests lower down that are a little bit, harder to get to. But let's see, so we found the hand axe, which is...
No, don't throw away Erdrick's sword!
A dragon scale. Another dragon scale, which could be just about anything that's not an item, possibly even the Erdrick sword, an herb, a key.
I don't know if the sword will say something else when you pick it up. I think it'll always just say sword.
But something else did say it was the sword.
And it looks like he's leaving, he's not gold grinding, and he's not checking for the sword in the basement.
I guess maybe it's do your homework time and finish all of his, questing to do.
I mean, perhaps without Hurtmore, the play here is to actually go into Charlock and check the most likely location for the sword. Maybe that's it.
Yep, also an option.
I've been too focused on Lorgon's side with all the cave dwelling that's taking place. Highspirits is still doing an excellent job exploring the whole map. Just unfortunate that he didn't see Cole past the swamp cave and still hasn't found Remolder yet. But this is what you have to do, just keep traversing and hopefully find the locations you're looking for eventually. Looking like it's going to be a death warp here as he's out of MP and he wants to keep getting the value from enemies along the way.
But yeah, questions in chat about what the item after the dragon scale was, since we do know that his inventory was full. Most likely a key or an herb, just because there was room in the inventory for those. But I'm still hoping it was the sword that we haven't checked for. But again, we don't know if it actually can not say sword and be the sword. But either way, I'm hoping that we have a surprise sword. I mean, we had a surprise not sword. Why can't we have the opposite?
It's nice to dream, but I'm pretty sure that when you can take something, like when you take gold, for example, it always says gold. I think with the sword it always says sword, but I could be wrong. I've just never seen it happen the other way. Still, Highspirits maintaining that experience difference. It's been 1,000 between them for ever so long. And you can see with Lorgon having killed 3 metal slimes, you know, aside from those metal slimes, the difference in experience is so negligible.
Yeah, probably just more to be attributed to the Erdrick's armor, actually. Because that would give an advantage. But anyway, here we have Highspirits getting up to level 12. Meanwhile, Lorgon has exchanged the Silver Harp for the Staff of Rain.
And we know the jerk is right by home. We'll see if Lorgon's going to beeline back home, get the rainbow drop, and head into Charlock. Again, it makes perfect sense. You can tell there's a bit of a personal touch there. A lot of racers have been in this situation before where the last 2 chests to check on the overworld are in the grave. Do you make that decision to check for the sword in the grave, or do you go straight into Charlock? And it looks like Lorgon has already made that decision in advance. I mean, he was so quick to respond once he didn't find the sword upstairs.
So Lorgon to hit level 13, we had 1 power, 2 agility, 7 HP, and 11 MP.
And Highspirits has found Remulder. It is time to open up the rest of the seed.
That's gotta be both a curse and a blessing for Highspirits. It's always great to be able to find keys and open up the seed, but when you're doing it 48 minutes in, that's sort of a bit of a worry to you.
Certainly a little bit scary. And he's still wondering, is the armor in Hawksness behind that pesky golem?
Yeah, Highspirits himself has no confirmation of where the armor is. The armor was in Cole, which was a little further past the swamp cave, which I'm not sure if Highspirits has gone that way yet.
And since it's a little dead end off in the, I believe it's the bottom left corner, I'm not sure if he'll make it back there anytime soon, with so much open land to explore in the other directions. But at least he's got missions to go on right now. He can open up the chests. We've found good enemies in those caves for him to fight.
Though at the same time, it's also kind of dangerous that he does know where Hawksness and Cantlin is. He might want to zero in on those just because he knows where they are to try and, figure out where the armor is. We'll see what he decides to do.
He does know that golems are a little bit dangerous right now.
Yeah, them having the sleep spell, not very nice. Maybe we'll find out if we have coordinates or not. Going into the land of the swamp over here. Big island, not a lot of promise.
A lot of swampy ground to check through. Thankfully, good enemies still. Highspirits getting a valuable knight out of the way for another 78 experience. Lorgon also finding a knight at the same time.
Double knights. And yes, question in chat from CD Improv. I am pretty sure that is the Garenham town he just walked by. He might just want to look at the last little branch of land here before deciding to check inside the town.
Yeah, he knows it's the edge of the map, so it's likely going to be a dead end, and he wants to see if there's anything in it before he heals up and goes into that cave in Garenham.
And that will at least start to open up some things for him. I know we did find... I was pretty sure we found the harp down there. And our runners are actually very close to each other on the map. Highspirits just a stone's throw away from Garenham. Is that a stone's throw, though?
He could throw it over the river, I bet.
Yeah, but I mean, if a tile is like 1 human length tall, and he was like 10 tiles away, that's pretty far, actually. How far can you throw a stone?
And an entire town can fit in 1 tile.
People are the size of towns until they go inside them. Runners just about virtually high-fiving each other as Lorgon was leaving the town, but I think they just missed each other by like a tile. So Highspirits refills on some of the essentials, and I assume we're going to be looking at the back here. Meanwhile, I think this is the swamp cave for Lorgon. Maybe we'll see some blue dragon fights.
So if we think in terms of possibilities for equalization, I have to imagine one of the best ways for that to happen is if the sword were in the grave and Highspirits full cleared the grave. That would be interesting. Then if Highspirits chooses to do the same thing Lorgon is doing, he can grind a little bit faster. Lorgon does not have a flame sword, so the broadsword, still somewhat inefficient, chipping away at these enemies. He does get an excellent move against a blue dragon. That's such a nice boost forward.
So Highspirits finds and puts on the fighter's ring. Nice nice extra 2 damage there.
And amazingly, Lorgon is not in a hurry to find the sword. He is grinding blue dragons without it. Certainly a valuable grind, but you have to imagine the sword would make it faster. I figure he's doing this right now because strength is getting close to the point where you're strong enough to beat the Dragon Lord. He's hoping probably that it'll just be 1 level, maybe 2.
Yeah, it can be a time saver if you're able to just do your level grind first and then go into the Charlock Castle and just get it on the way there. Of course, it does depend on what your enemies are like in there, but it's legitimate strategy.
And we know this is the harp chest for Highspirits. Blazing through that mountain cave, it's such a short cave, it won't take him long to get out of here.
And he dropped his dragon scale. Oh no, but the defense from that.
Don't worry, Sparkover. It turns out Once you don the dragon scale, even if you discard it, you retain the defense boost. It is forever donned in your heart.
Wow, I feel so warm and fuzzy right now.
The final chest, I think this was a gold chest, yeah.
So question in chat, 5625 for level 14? Yes, we are, I think, just 2 blue dragons away, including this one, from the next level.
I think I'd like to see Highspirits Death Warp here, unless specifically he has a nice, there's like a target outside close by Garinham where he wants to explore. But if he does Death Warp, that could be another advantage for him to garner, the Silver Shield. But it's also not necessary, so he might not do it with 83 agility and still some grinding to go.
Though I don't believe he is even a large shield yet, so it might be something to think about for him, though we also do know that the large shield is right here in Garinham.
And of course, being in grind mode, Lorgon has increased the experience difference between them, and still grinding these blue dragons without considering going for the broadsword. I guess he figures he can kill those blue dragons pretty rapidly already just with the broadsword, and they are certainly valuable enough to warrant this.
So 1 power, 5 speed, 5 hit points, 7 MP for Lorgon, and a new spell, which is Stop Spell and Outside? Yes. And meanwhile, Highspirits did purchase that large shield that we were just talking about.
Oh, and Lorgon has returned as well, so no worries about getting home from Charlock in the end.
Now that town we just saw up there, I believe that's the town of Cole that we just saw on Highspirits' side. Are we going to get the armor?
Fantastic.
Very good news for Highspirits over here.
And of course, he'll be worried that, it's 55 minutes in, getting keys a little later in the seed and Erdrick's armor. He'll be worried, but he's got what he needs to traverse the rest of the seed, and anything can happen at this point.
And that'll help with everything else he needs. I don't actually think Highspirits has any more exploration to do after this. We found all the important things for him. He just needs to gather all of the things he needs. And then, yes, question in chat, 7500 is the next level for Lorgon.
Highspirits going back in here, I have to assume that he's going for wings. He wants to get back home as quickly as possible to explore the mountain cave, or the grave, sorry. And
a shortcut you don't often see, we have used the door in Cole.
Oh, he has to sell something first.
You can't even just barter, you have to stop the conversation entirely and decide to sell something instead.
That's right.
Ah, the 80s. But yep, he does buy the wings, and I believe we'll be seeing home very quickly.
Yeah, these are how actual conversations with shopkeepers in real life went in the 80s. They ask if you want to buy something, and you say, no, I want to sell something.
No, first you say, yes, I want to buy something, and then they're like, what do you want? And then they're like, oh, you can't actually carry that.
Do you want to buy anything else? And you say no, which is a lie.
So Highspirits, without the gold grind in play right now, does not get the fake Erdrick sword.
So I'm definitely rooting for the sword to be in the basement, just for the sake of potential equalization.
Yeah, equalization is always fun. Makes for a more exciting ride at the end.
Lorgon, with a very significant lead, I wonder if he'll be able to buy a flame sword and if that'll be enough for him. But it's sort of looking like, unless there's a double-digit strength gain, he is going to need Erdrick's sword, wherever it may be.
So I'm trying to think here. I don't think Highspirits entered the throne room, so he can't make a gold grind here, can he?
Well, he can if there's a gold chest.
At the very bottom of the grave, yeah?
Oh, right. No, yeah, you're right.
But anyway, Highspirits makes it up to the top here. We can actually find out what these items are, and we find a dragon scale, an empty, and an empty. So yeah, they probably were 2 herbs. Possibly keys, though, because he also did restock on them.
Highspirits swiftly running away from yet another red dragon. That's been a specialty of his in this seed. And he is going to plunge for the other 2 chests. Will the sword be down there? It is the only thing left in the entire seed. Both players having the Death Necklace and the Fighter's Ring.
Yeah, all the little fun optional items are out. And I mean, looking at the stats here, there is a chance the Death Necklace could be in play.
Oh, sorry, I forgot about the Fairy Flute. That's true. It looks like this will be a seed where neither player gets the flute unless it is in the grave. Then Highspirits will get it.
Unless the sword isn't in the grave, and we might have to go into Charlock and find the Fairy Flute from Charlock.
It's possible.
It's possible. Though we also do not have any sort of indication of what's in Hawksness or in if there are coordinates, which, if either of those happen to be the flute.
This is definitely a rougher seed in terms of exploration luck. The experience gap really doesn't tell the tale of this seed very well. You can see Highspirits was just hurt by not finding things in the places he looked first. Whereas Lorgon did discover Erdrick's armor earlier and Remolder earlier, and it made a huge difference. Highspirits has played extremely well and just hasn't come up with that exploration luck, and sometimes that can make the difference in a tournament like this.
Yeah, the metal slimes definitely did help catapult things, but finding the armor early and then, of course, the keys before Highspirits as well really did, you know, attribute a lot to that. So we found a torch in the next chest. We've got one more chest in the grave here. And yeah, question in chat, we have not seen a cursed belt yet.
It's true.
Which, of course, if one of your key items are in a chest, then it takes away a cursed belt, which unfortunately, because we know the token was in the chest at the start of the game, we know at least one cursed belt is gone forever in this seed.
We still don't actually know if there are coordinates or not. Highspirits closing in on that final overworld chest. Although, if you're right that he hasn't opened chests outside of this cave, there are those 4 still to consider, and he will have a gold grind if he wants it. I could see him gold grinding for the flame sword as well. That could be important right now. Still with no hurt more.
Ah, Demon Knight in the Dark, the best. Anyway, as long as Lorgon can take down this blue dragon, I believe we will be seeing level 15. But first, the bottom chest? The small shield. What could it be? Not Erdrick's sword because it looks like it's an item, but it is wings. Unfortunately for Highspirits, that is not the best news to find. Meanwhile, on Lorgon's side, we get 4 power, 3 speed, 2 hit points, and 1 MP. Counting down.
Now that chest did not go away, so maybe Highspirits did visit the throne treasury and we just missed it.
No, he did visit the treasury. It was the throne room that he had not. I didn't think he had visited the throne room.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yes. And yeah, as noted in chat, level 16 will be getting us hurt more, since in the randomizer you are guaranteed to learn all your spells by 16. Meanwhile, Highspirits has found level 13. We know we get a spell with that one, and it is Return.
Highspirits looking for a death warp here for the quick way out. I don't remember if he saw oh, there we go. Axe Knight will do it quickly.
Yeah, he didn't have an Axe Knight, but he also wanted to defeat it for the level.
Definitely a relief that Highspirits saw Cole before going here. Really nice to have that armor, although of course it's not helping with this death warp, but other than that, it's a great thing. Lorgon continuing to plug away at this grind with the broadsword.
And now with Highspirits having all of the necessary items, we'll see if he chooses to do his homework and make up the rainbow drop, and where he chooses to grind, or if he chooses to dive for the sword right away because he's got a club.
I could definitely see that as a good option here.
Though he also does, I think he has enough money to buy a broadsword at least, so if there's one of those, I think there actually was one in Breckenridge, so I assume that's what he's headed to do right now. And question in chat, how many experience points till 16? We are about 2,000 away, the level being at 9750.
Broadsword for Highspirits, a nice boost forward. That's pretty huge from the club.
Yeah, definitely a good boost there, and now I believe we are equal in equipment for our runners.
I believe it is another 14 attack power from the club, so that is really significant right now.
Yeah, broadsword.
Or 16.
Broadsword I always find is a good, probably a very good for best item you can buy without realistically gold grinding. Of course, getting a flame sword is, you know, possible to get the money for at 9,800, but the broadsword is like pretty easy money to make once you've hit the mid-game.
Staff of Rain now for Highspirits. Next stop in the homework chain is back home, where the rainbow drop can be acquired close to home. He does have the return spell, and he's going straight for it.
Meanwhile, lorgon's still just wailing away at the blue dragons here. About 1,500-ish away from the next level.
So we had Cavesville, we had Townsville, and we had a lot of empty space.
And now Highspirits has gotten the rainbow drop. What do you think, NESCardinality? Do we see the play for Charlock, or do we see Highspirits grinding?
I think he's going for Charlock right now, and I like the play. He can fight things inside Charlock fairly effectively, and use his magic on the way down. Looks like a heal in... Oh no, he's not healing in Breckenary yet. Maybe there's another town on the way to Charlock. I don't remember exactly where it is.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where we're headed right now, but again, mapping. Not the strongest when you're not actually playing yourself. We don't know what Golem's stop spell resistance is. No players have actually tried to fight Golem after having stop spell.
There's Grinham, so I guess that'll be the stopping point before Charlock.
Also, this is very close to the mount, or rather the swamp cave. I don't know if Highspirits has checked the swamp cave enemy. I didn't as far as I have seen. Though we know he did check the Hawksness enemy. But we'll find out soon. I believe we have Swamp Cave right here, and we'll see what his choice is. I assume, being in this cave, yeah, he is definitely going to at least check what the enemy is. And yes, the question in chat, is the sword in Charlock? It is confirmed to be there. Don't know which chest yet, but we'll find it eventually. So yes, that does mean we get to play the pyramid game. Of course, I don't actually know the values of the chests, as it all goes, but I always vote on middle.
I voted bottom left last time and it was there.
And question in chat, what Charlock enemies have we not seen yet? I don't believe we've seen an Armored Knight yet, have we?
I feel like I saw one, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, and I don't think we know very much about the Red Dragon. I know we've seen a few, but we've been running from them fairly decently. So I hope you like blue dragons. Get cozy, everyone, because we're going to sit here and watch this blue dragon grind for a little while. Let's see how close Lorgon is to the next level. Oh, only a few blue dragons away.
Yeah, it looks like Highspirits making the same choice here. I was wrong, and again, can't blame him for this choice. This is the second most valuable enemy in the game for experience, and Highspirits having no trouble at all grinding it without Erdrick's sword. Can't be blamed for making this choice. It's probably the right one in general. Without Hurtmore, it's hard to imagine diving for the sword being more efficient than this. This is just so good.
Yeah, you never know how much you want Hurtmore for the going down their grind and not, because it can make you very safe by almost one-shotting a few enemies and two-shotting some others, but at the same time, then you won't be able to heal as much.
So to give you an idea of where we're at, Lorgon would need about 15 attacks to beat the Dragon Lord with Erdrick's sword right now, and only has 8 heal mores, so we are not close enough yet. It's very, very clear that both racers will be going to at least level 16.
Though with just a couple blue dragons left to go before the level, let's see what we can get. A giant strength boost can definitely sway the favors of that, possibly lots of MP, and again, Death Necklace is in play with the right strength gain.
Lorgon is 2 blue dragons away. And Highspirits, just a few more to get to that 56-25 mark. Looks like 4 more red dragons, or blue dragons.
Not as many red dragons, but they're also harder to find at this point. We have a very constant blue dragon source right here. Are they just like all jammed in that hallway and keep running after you one after one? So Highspirits just a few blue dragons away from level 14, and meanwhile this one will give Lorgon level 16. So what does level 16 bring us? Well, Courage and Wit for starters. So 5 power, 5 speed, 16 hit points. Oh hi, Death Necklace is in play. And 4 MP. And of course, to top off the spells, Hurt More.
Here we go. It's now going to take 12 attacks to win. 9 heal mores available. So this level is not... It's possible, but not guaranteed. Perhaps Lorgon is now considering diving for the sword and fighting some stuff on the way.
Well, how do you feel about putting on the Death Necklace?
Well, he's not going to do it until he fights the Dragon Lord, I don't think. Well, who knows? I don't know. I've done too much speculating. I've been wrong about too many things in this race.
I mean, definitely looks like there's a game change plan here. There is Lorgon visiting the Jerk, who will be getting the Rainbow Drop. And we'll see. I mean, I assume because he headed home that he is making a different gameplay here. And yeah, we're going to visit the man over here who will refill your MP. I think it's adventure time for Lorgon.
Here's a dangerous fight for Highspirits. He's going to defeat an act. Oh no, they have heal.
Oh gosh.
Well, he should still be able to pound his way through this one. If he attacks now, he'll get it, I think. There it is.
Look at that.
It looks like Highspirits has some interest in getting the sword now. And again, I really do like this play. You just never know when the next level is going to be enough, and he's about to get another level. He can get it on the way down. Lorgon entering Charlock just a little bit behind Highspirits here. Is Lorgon actually thinking about going at level 16? It's certainly possible, but if the Dragon Lord were to attack first, or if he were to roll a little bit below average, it would be a little bit scary. But if Lorgon does get the first attack, he is the favorite to beat the Dragon Lord. It's so close.
Yeah, it's definitely a risky fight, but it is possible, and I guess maybe it might even just come down to how this dive goes. I mean, I've definitely done that before, where sometimes I think, I can beat the Dragon Lord, but I need to get the sword. And then I realize Charlock is awful, so I just dedicate that one dive to getting the sword and deciding after that what to do with it.
Betastrep thinks that Lorgon will get another level. We'll have to wait and see.
Meanwhile, Highspirits, now we have at level 14. Still checking his spells, but unfortunately, Hurtmore's not coming for another 2 levels.
I'm waiting to see a Hurtmore on Lorgon's side. See if he's, no, he's running! It looks like he might try to win at 16. Of course he has no idea that he has a vast lead at the moment.
But at the same time, when you're playing Highspirits, you might want to take some risks.
I mean, if he wins at 16, it is going to look spectacular, that's for sure.
Like, when you get this far deep into a tournament, you might want to take some risks just thinking, well, now's my chance, I have no idea where my opponent is.
So let's take stock of this decision just for a moment. First of all, Lorgon has high agility. He's expecting to be able to run from everything and keeping his resources. That's one thing he has going for him. And secondly, I cannot overstate this enough. If Lorgon does get the first attack, which is more likely with higher agility, he will be the favorite against the Dragon Lord. And a fairly strong favorite. It's just a question of that first attack. If the Dragon Lord attacks first, I think the Dragon Lord might be a small favorite. It's so close.
And he's got free MP for a fun little spell. He can cast a 1 sleep, 1 stop spell, 1 heal even. Though looks like this walk down hasn't been way too bad, she says, as the Armored Knight back attacks.
Yeah, Tilo doing some simulator analysis. It looks like pretty much agreeing with what I'm saying, just below 50% if the Dragon Lord attacks first. But if I didn't expect it to be as much as 89% if he attacks first, but that is really strong.
So here we have Lorgon, who has made it to the treasury, and while checking the chest, trying to find the sword, we find an herb. We find some wings.
I wonder how many herbs he has.
And there's our fairy flute and Charlock, hi! And then the sword.
So no coordinates, and nothing in Hawksness either.
Fairy flute can also be a tiny bit of a boon too, like say you have golems on this floor that have sleep.
Can't blame Lorgon for using the flute here, even with such high agility against a golem who has really low agility, because of that sleep spell specifically.
Just
and another one. He's going for it, and again, if he wins, it's just gonna look spectacular. He's got good odds for that first attack. It's a bold decision, you know, like your whole race is potentially on the line for just randomness here.
Yeah, I mean, you might think, oh no, but this takes me a few extra seconds to play the flute, but at the same time, if you're sent home, well, you know, that's a little more than 8 seconds. So now we have Highspirits on the bottom floor.
Highspirits very likely to make it to that sword now. It's unfortunate that they're not closer together. It's gonna be weird if Lorgon wins and Highspirits gets the sword and, well, I mean, he's gonna know that he's just a level or 2 away, but just unfortunate. Again, exploration luck played a huge part. But right now, the question is, will Lorgon triumph against the Dragon Lord at level 16?
There might be a lot of metagame in that too. If you just pick up the sword and then all of a sudden your opponent finishes, you might think, oh, well, maybe I'm at the next level. But, yeah, Highspirits did so well keeping the experience gap very close, like, you know, at the 1,000 experience point for a long time between them until Lorgon actually just started with the grind itself. So our mini-boss is a red dragon.
Yeah, if you... Wow, a low 21 roll from Lorgon, and another 21.
Gosh.
He's gonna take a lot of damage in this battle. Remember, he has to hold on to his heal more, so he's definitely going to attack at 36 HP. Will it be enough? Yes.
So he's probably going to have to use the rest of his herbs here, and he puts on the death necklace right away.
This is a little bit scary. I could see him doing some heal walking here, again with the high agility and no red dragons around, but he is using herbs to get it done quickly. Now this fight is a lot more dangerous, but he can defense break DL1. We'll just have to wait and see.
And at the same time, he probably just didn't want to waste resources healing up past Death Necklace amount.
There goes the last herb, and suddenly his odds are much worse here. Hurt more, I believe it's 50% to see hurt more.
He does have 1 heal here, so if he notices that, but he gets a stop spell first off, and that's very lucky on his part.
And 2 40s and a weak attack, 88 HP, he's got a shot here. Alright, so next, will he get the first attack? Yes, he will. Now, will he get a double attack? No. So 14 damage to start, and this battle is going to be really close. It could come down to how much HP the Dragon Lord actually has. Lorgon rolling very average right now. 14 is his median roll, and he's done 29 damage in 2 hits.
Now, it's hard to hope for double attacks when your HP is only 101, but there's still a chance. It's just a smaller chance.
Yeah, without the silver shield here, double attacks are extremely unlikely with 101 HP. Lorgon having done 53, and now 68. That's an above average roll, but we haven't seen anything very above average yet. He's still got a lot of ground to cover here. And now it's only 80 with 4 heal mores. I don't see this happening.
And if you're in this situation, you sort of have to start thinking, well, if I'm this far behind, do I do a hurt more?
I think he will. I don't think there's any doubt, because even if he were to attack a few more times past 100, yeah, there's the hurt more.
Alright, so it's hurt more time, folks.
He had to heal more there, because even if this hurt more connected, it wouldn't kill the Dragon Lord. He needed one more attack. So there was no chance once hurt more was cast there. But little does he know, he still has a large advantage.
Wait, the king didn't heal him!
What a rude king. No, it turns out if you're cursed from the Death Necklace, the king wants nothing to do with you. Curses were serious business back in the, I don't know, 8th century BC or wherever we are.
So Highspirits has made his way over to the mini-boss and found that it was a red dragon, but being out of resources takes a death there, though also he will know that he is a little ways to go before he is actually able to take on the Dragon Lord, but now with the sword, the grind is going to be a lot faster.
You gotta imagine Lorgon is really worried about the difference between them now.
Yeah, taking a death to the Dragon Lord is frightening, no matter how well you think your run went. So Lorgon is going to restock his herbs, take a nap at the inn, because of course when the king kicks you out, your MP is not replenished.
It's so frustrating to be blocked by an NPC when you're in go mode like this.
The townspeople are never nice to you.
And Lorgon, I mean, despite not getting a double attack to start, with slightly below average rolls, he was not even close to beating the Dragon Lord. I wonder if that fight will sway him into getting another level, or if he'll take another shot at level 16. Again, we can't deny that at level 16 with all your resources, you are the favorite to win.
But you need both good luck and good resource management to get down there. But looks like he's headed back into Charlock Castle right away.
Brave, bold Lorgon going for it again at level 16.
Meanwhile, on Highspirits' side, we are one enemy away from hitting level 15. So looks like Highspirits is going back to the grind, which, not very surprising at this point, definitely needs some more stats to grind some more. We'll see what he thinks about level 16.
There's level 15 for Highspirits. I don't remember how far away it was. I think that was the level where I said we had 15 attacks to win and 9 heal mores. So yeah, not close enough. 8 heal mores.
Yeah, just getting the 8th one there doesn't really help so much. Or rather, you didn't just get it, but the 1 MP, kind of sad.
With such a close Dragon Lord fight, anything could happen at this point. But Lorgon once again playing the numbers, looking for a slight favorable advantage against the Dragon Lord, and knowing that he's against Highspirits, a formidable opponent. They say fortune favors the brave. Actually, I think they say that in this game. Lorgon failing to run away from a golem, and still doesn't contemplate using the fairy flute, gets away the second try.
I mean, you want to believe in your agility, just sometimes it doesn't always work the way you want it to.
Highspirits back on those blue dragons, clearly the best option for grinding in this seed.
And even with green dragons having sleep, it's not as intimidating when you are defense breaking them.
And now the fairy flute comes into play for Lorgon.
Just one too many run fails from the golem made him reconsider. I don't blame him, though. I mean, you really don't want to be risky, especially when you're walking down here with the death necklace on and having, 25% less HP than you normally would.
The red dragon could be a little scary, but in reality, with so much attack power, it's very likely Lorgon will 3-shot it and then can just use 2 or 3 herbs.
He also had a particularly bad fight the first time, from what I remember.
So Highspirits only needs another 1,500 experience, which is about 8 of these guys, now 7.
Hey, the chests are back! Could he pick up another sword and just win the game?
Unfortunately, that chest would be empty because he already has a sword. That's the check the game does.
Ah, darn. I thought I solved Dragon Warrior Randomizer just there. Yeah, what if you dropped your shield in order to pick up another sword? I think the payoff would be worth it.
This red dragon is a legitimate concern. It could cost a lot of resources. We just have to wait and see how it goes.
I mean, if he walks down there with no problems, he will be healed back to to max. But again, it does depend on what we get for how our swings turn out.
Unfortunately, a blue dragon taking a swipe. Will he do some heal walking here first? He remembers the heal.
Very, very smart at that end.
The red dragon attacked first. And suddenly you see how dangerous this is. He needs to run away and heal without using a heal more.
And he does run, and he does have the herbs to heal up for it. What do you think about that play?
It's so tough. Like, I would probably favor planeswalking here, because those herbs are so necessary.
But he is able to heal up to just short of 2 HP now of his max. Now we just need to win this in 3 or 4 hits.
He's got the red dragon on the ropes. It is a 3-shot.
The red dragon is currently off the ropes.
Again, I would have liked to see more heal walking here. He's only going to have a single herb now. It's scary.
And he doesn't have that spare heal that he did have available last fight, despite the fact that he chose not to use it. But here we are again. Lorgon will be called a fool. How insulting.
Of course, it's worth noting Lorgon did choose the fastest path, healing quickly to get to the Dragon Lord as quickly as possible. There's a physical attack.
Ooh.
22.
And a hurt more. That is kind of rough.
So he'll use the last herb. And it's another hurt more, so... Again, he definitely has to attack first here, but he could roll above average and still have a chance. The Dragon Lord could have low HP as well. There's a 19, that's his maximum. So he is on board here, guys. This is going to be a very close battle.
All right, folks, buckle in. Let's count some numbers together.
32. He's still above average, and that's what he needs. 47, slightly extending his above averageness.
Looking so much better than last time already.
61. With 7 attacks left to go. 73.
Still doing alright here.
The possibility still exists. He's got to keep going for it. He's at 88 now. Still well within range of above average rolls winning this fight. And there's another big one. 106 now with 4 attacks to go.
So our last question just is, how much HP does this Dragon Lord have? And we'll find out momentarily if we have enough or not.
117, he did not want to see a roll that low. $129, another below average roll. He's got 2 attacks left. They could be enough, and he could also get a 3rd attack. It is possible.
There's a 26 from the Dragon Lord's physical.
Oh man, but there's a fire breath.
Oh,
wow.
What were we up to?
I think that was 158.
So Dragon Lord with above average health.
That could have been enough. He did everything right. And we just got unlucky with the Dragon Lord having above average HP.
And meanwhile, Highspirits has just hit level 16. And looks like he's choosing to fight more blue dragons.
You can see how, wow, how risky this battle is when you don't get the first attack or when you don't open with a double. And that red dragon just hurts so much.
Yeah, with the red dragon being your mini-boss, it's very difficult. I mean, back in the day of speedrunning the vanilla, we would call the red dragon being the real Dragon Lord, and in this case, it kind of is helping.
I'd like to take this opportunity to thank CD Improv for tracking. We will be taking over tracking duties from here, although it's pretty much covered at this point. Just need to notch Highspirits up to level 16.
Someone might need to hit the level 17 button at some point, though. Possibly, we'll see what happens here. I'm pretty sure Highspirits is committed to that. And on that note, I would also like to really thank NESCardinality and Sparkover for helping with the commentary. Wait, that one of those is me.
I'd like to thank Sparkover and NESCardinality for commentary.
Wow, they're both doing pretty great. And as well, Sparkover for doing the restreaming. And of course, thank you everybody for joining us today. Also, please give a thank you to Lorgon and Highspirits for giving this lovely race for us to watch that we may comment on.
I root for close races, but I never root for failed Charlock dives. I feel Lorgon's pain right now, and I admire his courage for going for this yet a third time. Hopefully this time he can conserve herbs for DL1.
Though to be fair, I really think that we pretty much needed these failed Charlock dives for the race to become even. And speaking of even, well, Highspirits actually has taken the lead in experience now.
Yes, indeed. Going for level 17. I can't, I feel like I would have gone for 17 as well. Maybe just finishing it on the way down. A play like that makes a lot of sense with all this agility. I wouldn't be surprised if Highspirits left here shortly to complete the dive on the way down. Still fighting for now, though.
So Highspirits is... So 12,000 experience will be the next level for him. And so we are just about 5-6 blue dragons away from that.
You can only imagine what Lorgon is thinking right now after 2 defeats to the Dragon Lord. Watching that, that race box.
Yeah, it's got to be very painful to take not 1 but 2 deaths to the Dragon Lord.
This race has certainly been instructive in a lot of ways, and one of those is the importance, with a battle this close against the Dragon Lord, the importance of holding on to those herbs for DL1. So yeah, I'm just hoping Lorgon will either take less damage or do a little bit more heal walking if he has to.
Question in chat, are racers allowed to watch this stream during the race? No, they are not. No spoilers allowed whatsoever. Watching it after the race can be a lot of fun to sort of see how things turned out, but as you are live, you are not allowed any information on where your opponent is.
Yeah, it's generally a universal standard for randomizers, because no one knows where anything is. You could just gain too much information from watching your opponents explore different directions. The only way to have it be like an actual randomizer is if you cannot know what your opponent is doing.
So that would be an interesting concept. How could you race with knowing what your opponent is doing, and who can win that?
Well, Sparkover, it turns out the Zelda community does do races like that every once in a while, and they are interesting.
Ah, the Router's Relish, I've heard of that. How do you feel about bringing that to Dragon Warrior Randomizer?
I think you gotta set a limit on how many people can be in a race like that, because, you know, certain people can only have so many race windows open, for one thing. Like, maybe in a head-to-head battle, I think I like the idea that way.
Well, actually, in their race, they get spoilers, but hey, look at Highspirits' level 3 power, 0 agility, 2 hit points, and a little more MP.
The 3 power is very significant. This is 100% go mode for Highspirit. Oh, I'm sorry. That's level 60. No, never mind.
It was 13.
That is 17. I got it.
So that's pretty much an auto win right there. So at this point, it really comes down to whether or not Lorgon can defeat the Dragon Lord in this time.
Even without the MP gain, Highspirits needs 1 less attack to win, so it's just such a clear decision to go at level 17. Alright, our attention turns back to Lorgon, and again, he's now down to 4 herbs, and I'm already worried.
But he does get the first attack on the red dragon, which was a problem last time, and he still has his spare heal as well.
That's going to be a boon after this, and he does not 3-shot. He has to attack here, of course. No dodge.
But he knows that as long as that hit connects, then he is safe. So uses his heal, uses his last few herbs, I assume. He should have probably 1 left over, maybe 2, depending how this one does.
He's got 2.
Yeah. You can walk the rest of that off pretty safely, if by that I mean...
He'll use the flute.
Yes. If by walk it off, I mean those steps would be healed by Erdrick's armor by the time you get to the Dragon Lord. Enemies, you know, depending. Very safety strats here, though.
A second herb does improve his chances a lot here. He also has decent odds of 3-shotting DL1, which he did not do last time.
Gets the first attack, hits for 38. Very nice start for Lorgon.
With a 38, he's got the potential to 2-shot him, actually.
And he does! Which is actually kind of bad for him. We're hoping that the first attack from the Dragon Lord is not a big one, but it's fire.
Now again, he did open with a 17. That's above average. He's got chances. 32, still above average. He's getting what he needs for now.
Meanwhile, Highspirits snaking his way through the twisty Charlock caves. He's ready.
Another above average attack, 49. This is what he needs. He's just about close enough to gaining the advantage. 61 now. $75. With 6 attacks to go. Very close. There we go, 90.
Odds looking a lot better for Lorgon this fight.
5 attacks left. Now at 100 with 4 attacks left.
And we do know we're aiming for higher than 158.
Ah, it's just disappeared now. 111. And he's already thinking about the hurt more. He should heal more first so he gets... Oh no, he's not going to have enough magic for 2 hurt mores. But yeah, he'll try a hurt more, I'm pretty sure. 120... 127? Okay, he's got a shot with 2 attacks. No, this is the right play. This is the better odds. Good job to Lorgon for sticking to this. He's at 142. A max would do 161. And he gets it! He got the max and did 161, and that is your victory. Get your GGs out for the very bold Lorgon, pulling it off on the 3rd attack and finishing just ahead of Highspirits.
That was very close, but he managed to pull it off, and that's got to feel very good. And Lorgon finishes with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 36 minutes, and 11 seconds in first place, eliminating Highspirits.
So we know the HP on the Dragon Lord was between 159 and 161. Had to have been one of those values.
Highspirits, meanwhile, defeats the Red Dragon in 1 hit with an excellent move, and is now approaching the Dragon Lord at level 17.
It's time for the Death Necklace, and this will be a very quick and easy fight for Highspirits. I'm not surprised that he doesn't even use an herb here. He doesn't need to. He's got extra heal mores. Just trying to get it done more quickly. Look at that, 22. $21 from Highspirits, these enormous rolls. It's just going to be such a quick battle. I didn't see the exact values, so if Highspirits rolls 159 or 160, we won't know for sure.
Though we are definitely going to look this up once Highspirits finishes his battle. And this is the difference that one level can make. Just the extra 13 strength makes it a complete, easy victory here. And with that, Highspirits finishes downing the Dragon Lord. Let's take a look and see what we were dealing with.
159. Lorgon was 1 hit away in that second battle. 1 point of damage. Highspirits has defeated the Dragon Lord and the race is over. GG Highspirits.
Finishes with a time of 1 hour, 38 minutes, and 48 seconds.
We didn't even have the Death Necklace equipped on Highspirits' side, and he was still more than strong enough at level 17. That was a big level.
Alright, so we're going to get our runners in chat for the interview here. I'm just going to drag Lorgon in. Hello there.
Hello.
GG.
My, oh my.
How are you feeling?
Well, wound up, I have a mixture of emotions. As you might have been able to tell, this is the first race where I played my opponent as opposed to just playing my game. Highspirits is a better player than I am. He probably wins 6 out of 8 matches that we play against each other.
So how long did it take you to find Remildar?
I was the last place I found, so it sounds like maybe we were similar there then. Yeah, didn't have keys for the whole thing. It had mapped out everything until Remildar was the last location that I found. But I was all out aggression. I did not bother diving the bottom of the tomb. I was like, if the sword is down there, I will lose the match, an hour in. I was just totally gambling that the sword's going to be in Charlock. And 16 was pushing it, but I was going to totally gamble and push it and push it and push it. Because Highspirits, I thought, is a better player than I am, and so I need to gamble.
Yeah, I figured the moment I found Remildar as late as I did, I'm like, I lost.
The other thing is,
I got everything else except for Remildar until the very end.
I got a metal slime at level like 4.5, and I was feeling really guilty about that for most of the match.
Thankfully, the early levels didn't really matter much because we had decent stats.
We did have decent strength that helped me not feel as bad, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of exploration luck even just happened on Lorgon's side, where just you found coal first, and the armor also helped you traverse the world.
Right, I did feel good about the exploration in terms of finding coal in the armor. That was pretty big.
Yeah, coal was about 55 to 60 minutes for me.
Oh wow, yeah, that's a huge.
Yeah, I didn't find coal.
Did you go through the swamp cave first, or?
I found both of them very end. I went across the swamp first, and did a little grinding over there. I was going to try to beat the golem until I found out he had sleep. And then it's like...
Yeah, okay, so exploration luck ended up being huge, because I didn't even see who was on the tile in Hawksnest. I was planning to circle back around. I had just finished exploring the second continent. I walked into Hawksnest and walked right back out, and I was like, I'll check who's there later. And then a golem surprise slept-locked me when I was walking back to Hawksnest, and so I never even got to see what that tile was. And when I already had the armor and the token, I didn't need to go back there. There was a blue dragon in the swamp cave who, without Hurtmore, seemed like the best enemy of all the people who could be on a spike tile I was ever going to see anyway. So I was like, I'm not even going to spend the time walking over to Hawksnest because I can't imagine it's going to be better than the Blue Dragon.
Well, it didn't help that we got hurt more at 16, so...
Yeah, exactly. And by 16, I was like, you know what? These stats are probably 49% to win or something like that. And I was like, I'm going for it. And it took me 3 tries on 16. Apparently, I did 158 damage in my second try, and he had 159 hit points. But the third try was the charm, apparently just in time.
Well, GG, dude. Good luck to you in the rest of the way.
Yeah, and GG to you as well. as I was saying, like just before you arrived, like I was playing my opponent more than I play my normal game, and so definitely you shook me up, and I was nervous the whole way through up there. But it forced me to gamble, and maybe those gambles really paid off.
Yeah, it was definitely exciting to watch. I mean, despite the early metal slimes and exploration luck on Lorgon's side, until Lorgon had actually settled into the grind, Highspirits was able to keep the experience lead to about 1,000 throughout, well, until that grind started, so very interesting to watch even, and it did end up being, a lot closer in the end than it looked like in the beginning, so that was great.
So, Hi, did you try on 16 at all, or did you just grind your way to 17 before you dove?
Nope, I didn't try at 16. I looked at it and said I'm 2 heal more short. Even if it would have taken an insane amount of luck to pull it off at 16, is what my thought was. And the grind to 17 was fast. Like I killed him with like 50. I got to that whole level on like 50 magic.
Had you gone for the sword already, or when did you get the sword?
I dove the sword. So what I did is like, by the time I finally got everything, I was like 14 already or something like that, 14 or 15. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to fight blue dragons. I fought a few, and I'm like, I'm going for the sword.
I grinded like 12 to 16 with the broadsword. I decided, again, because I was totally gambling, I was like, I'm 100% gambling the sword's going to be down there. I'm going to pick it up on the way. The blues are a slog, but... at level 12 and 13, I was like, maybe we'll get hurt more, and I'll go check Hawk's Nest, and maybe it'll be an Axe Knight, or maybe a big level will come, and then I had to go all the way to 16, and at this point I was like, I've invested so much time in this grind, it's just, once you start gambling, you have to gamble even more kind of thing, and so that was the position that I was in.
Yeah, I just took way too many deaths and took until the very end towards the end of the seed. I think it was about an hour by the time I found coal. So I didn't have armor. I didn't have a whole lot to work with. Yeah,
the armor is a really huge thing. Yeah, because I remember I was trying to see if I could even scrape up some chainmail somewhere. I don't remember if I think I was wearing leather armor when I walked into Cole, and Cole was selling chainmail, but I was like, okay, I'll come back and buy it if the armor's not here. And then the armor was here, and I was like, hooray! And yeah, before I forget, thank you to Sparkover and Ness for commentating, and Sparko for restreaming, and CD for tracking on this one. Always appreciated.
Well, thank you for putting on the lovely show for us. It's always a pleasure to be able to help out.
And yeah, I pulled up the chat, but then I wasn't really glancing at it to see if there were any interesting questions there, or if you guys had other questions for us.
I think I'm pretty good on my end. Anything from you, Ness?
Boy, it was a nail biter, and I can't believe, wow. Everything. Good race, very entertaining. Thank you both so much for the show.
Thank you for the commentary. Getting up nice and early for us, NESCAR.
You know it.
And I'll keep my streak of finishing 7th in the summer tournament going.
Yeah, thanks everybody. I look forward to watching it back.
Don't worry, I'll win when the winter comes. Don't worry. I always win in the winter and lose in the summer.
So looking forward, Lorgon, you're going to be facing the winner of Mr. Holmes versus Beta Strep, which is the last match of this week. Has not been scheduled yet, but hopefully we will be seeing that one soon.
Yeah, both very good runners. But yeah, I mean, at this point in the tournament, I'm gonna need a combination of luck and skill to defeat anybody else at this point, including this match.
So yeah, other than that, I believe that about wraps us up for the day. Any other comments from our two runners?
I'm good, thank you. Finally get a break from the game.
Go off and
I just
focus on
want
your
to say to the
marathon.
audience that I hope that they enjoyed it.
GG on the win.